Shalom, Yasharal. I want to give infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekar Kodash. I want to give dumb honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone. And salutation to my fellow laborers in Yahweh Shai, pushing this true cross to four winds. Shalom, Akim. All right, I'm going to do this sit down, man. Just share light on who the devil the Bible speak of is, man. This so-called white man, he's done a number on our people, man. And I was just surfing the net and reading, and I came across this clip, man. And when I was looking at this clip, and I went through a few excerpts and read, I was like, damn, man, this devil teaches the world and the earth through philosophy how to be abominable, you know, how to be an image with Yahweh Shema Shai's word, preferably our people, you know, fuck the other nations. But when it comes to him, he take the laws and the commandments that Yahweh Shema Shai gave us, and he applies it to his life for him to have control. All right, when it comes, all right, and I'm saying that when it comes to economics, he uses that model that comes from our laws to succeed. That's how he's in full control of the riches of the earth. He uses the Most High's divine formula about economics that he gave to us to deal with business and commerce. All right, and when it comes to him and his house, he uses it. He applies it to him and his house. All right, but then he gives the earth wicked wine when it comes to business and commerce, where all the monies of the earth funnel back through him, and he makes them slaves, man. All right, now I'm about to show you in this clip how Amalek still abides by Yahweh Shema Shai's principles, man, but he only uses it for himself, okay? And through seminary school, philosophy, and the educational system, he keeps the other nations from following these principles and applying it to themselves. And he makes them slaves to his beast system. Check this shit out, man.
Jewish parenting, how to raise your kids for success.
All right, we're going to start right there. Jewish parenting, how to raise your kids for success, okay? First off, when you raise your children for success, you teach them the law, statutes, and commandments Yahweh Shema Shai. Now, let's say you don't believe in the scriptures. For a parent to keep your children, teach your children for success, you keep them away from this society. All right, let's see how these Jewish people. Let's see what they do. These Orthodox Jews, they have their own communities. All right, where they generate their own money and they only deal with each other. All right, and they don't deal with the outside world. Like I've been, my parents sent me to private parochial schools. I've been to college, all right? And I've been around Edomites a great vast of my life. You never see those Orthodox Jews in your schools. You never see them at the store you go to. You never see them in the society, man. Now up there in Brooklyn, New York, they so deep, but they only deal with each other. They only deal amongst each other. All right. They don't deal with the other peoples in New York for the most part. Now they going to and fro and they bump into you at the subway. Yeah. But I'm talking about as it would deal with their everyday life, their cosmos. All right. They're anti-fucking social, man. Unless they're doing business and commerce. That's it. Okay. And that's the first formula you do to build up a good family unit. All right. They stay unblemished from this society's philosophy. All right. And let me bring out this precept, show you that's a biblical principle, how to raise successful children, scripturally, of course. This is Deuteronomy 11:19, and it reads, and ye teach, I'm going to start off at 18. Therefore, ye shall lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your head, that you may be as frontlets between your eyes. He's talking about his blessed laws. And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them when they are sittest down in the house, and when they are walking by the way, and when they are lies down, and when they rise up. All right? these so-called, these Amalekites, these so-called Jews, these identity thieves, they apply that principle. That's what they do with their children, real shit. They don't teach them the word of Yahweh Hashem Hashai, the spirit, but that principle of teaching their children all day and all night and teaching them the ways that they would have them to go, they do that. And they keep them untainted, unblemished from the people of this society. They don't let their kids look at basketball, football, secular music. They keep their children away from it. A lot of them don't even have TVs in their house. When they grow up and they look at somebody in high esteem, it's going to be a rabbi, their grandfather, their uncle, or older brother. Those are their heroes. All right? And that's a principle that Yahweh Shema Shai gave us. All right? But they applied that principle to themselves, man. Listen to this shit.
I'm Dr. Eliv Zaid, Dr. Persuasion, an international expert of persuasion, negotiation, sales, and marketing. Today I'm going to talk about Jewish parenting. The way Jewish people raise their kids is a very famous model all over the world. We teach our kids for independence, we teach our kids for creative thinking, for creative behavior, and to be self-employed and entrepreneurs when they grow up.
All right, that's not a self-model put all over the world. All right, when you go to these indoctrinational schools, indoctrinational institutions called schools, all right, and these religious facilities called churches that are taught by seminaries, these seminary schools. When you go to a pastor that comes from a seminary school that's taught how to teach you, and what he's really doing is indoctrinating you, an MK Ultra model that they use. They don't teach you how to have creative thinking. They don't teach you to have free thought. They don't teach you how to be self-employed nor independent. But what he just said is what they really do. All right? He teaches their children not to think how this society wants you to think by isolating them from this society. And then they shit on this society and tell them, man, you don't have to celebrate the 4th of July, all that bullshit, Thanksgiving. Them damn devils don't never be worried about that shit, Christmas, all the things that if you're taught in this society, they teach them to say, think that, look, you're the ruler. You're at the top of the totem pole. That shit don't apply to you. Okay? That's how they teach their children. Self-employment. They teach them you never go work for a non-Jew. Because we're going to get to it. When they work for a fellow Amalekite, they follow the laws. That Amalekite is going to help them start a business. And then when they finish working for that Amalekite, they're going to get their own business and somebody's going to work for them. And then they're going to teach that Amalekite how to start a business. They know true economics, man. And this shit is infuriating to look at, and I keep cutting it off because it pissed me off looking at it, man. They live in our fucking life, man. But you see, they teach their children to be self-employed, think freely, all right, and be independent. That's what our laws teach us to do, man.
Now, as a parent, and I have 2 kids, today they are 8 years old and 10 years old, you always have a dilemma. The dilemma, on the one hand, you would like your kid to obey you, to do whatever you say, that he won't argue with you, that you see you as a role model, and that he will be a very disciplined boy.
All right, now, we have to pray over our children. We have to pray Yahweh Shema Shai that, first of all, foremost, we're the elect, and that the Most High will pour his spirit on our children to make them fear him, okay? I have sons. I have custody of my sons. I teach them. I force feed them Yahweh Shema Shai's truth. All right? But this devil, see, this motherfucker, he's going to tell you that. All right? But that applies to his people. All right? In this society, everything is done by design. This devil is a psychoanalyst. All right? He studies the human anatomy biologically and the way the brain works. All right? He got MK Ultra mind control techniques down to a science. He has your child 8 hours of the day. All right. When your child come to you home from school, then he got homework. So he still has your child another hour or 2. All right. He's bringing home those books full of his wine. OK, So when you say raise your child to do what you want him to do, and your child is at his indoctrination camp, learning his ways, his philosophies, the children there, peer pressure, this devil is a psychoanalyst, peer pressure is a hell of a drug. Children, when they get around their peers, it has a strong effect on them, and Esau knows it, okay? But when these Amalekites have their children around each other, their children, their peer pressure is the same peer pressure. All of them seeing the same shit, okay? They're not coming to get a different philosophy. They're not getting a different philosophy what their parents teach them. So that model, it doesn't work for your average Israelite, okay? Even though I teach my children Thanksgiving is abominable, Christmas is abominable, they don't play that shit around me. But when they go, me and my baby mother not together. When they go to my baby mama house or their grandmother house, you know we don't have no power in this society. All right? They gonna get carried away with their hypocrisy. I know it. All right? They're children. They're impressionable. All right? So our only hope is that Yahweh Shema Shai, we pray to Yahweh Shema Shai that he protect our children. But if your children go into these schools and colleges, all right, that shit don't work. All right?
On the other hand, you would like to raise an independent kid, independent child that can do things by his own.
All right. So when you're going, when he say true independence is not going to get a degree and then you go work as a college professor, or you're working for somebody, pure. You're a doctor or an engineer. You're working for somebody. Everything all the work and labor and toil you're putting in, at the end of the day, if you're making 75, 80K a year, you got somebody that you're making $1 million a year. All right? That's beautiful economics for the person that got that system in the play. You're just a well-nourished slave that's getting paid more than the slaves up under you. But you're not independent. You're following the infrastructure that this devil has in the play. These Amalekites teach their children to own their own businesses and be their own bosses. Okay? Check them out.
This dilemma.
They don't teach their children to go work for this guy or work for that guy.
How does it work? Well, Jewish parenting solved this dilemma.
Salakia. They let their children go work, but it's going to be work. They're going to work for a fellow Amalekite, and that Amalekite is going to teach them how to own their own business and be an owner. All right? And that's true economics. That's what economics is. Generating wealth, formulating wealth, and keeping wealth in the family. That's beautiful economics.
And we teach our kids, on the one hand, that we as parents are their mentors, that we teach them, that we provide them tools, practical tools for life.
All right? That's why these Jews don't send their children to schools, public school system, private school system. They teach, it's what's they call a yeshiva. It starts with a Y. It's a yeshiva. Or they call it Jewish day school. That's the best way. They call it Jewish day school, but the Jewish pronounce that Yiddish bullshit is a yeshiva. That's where they send their children to school. That's why you never see them in college when you go to college. You're never going to see them nowhere in society, all right? And they're teaching what their parents teach them at home, okay? All right? That can work for them. That can't work for your child.
On the other hand, we teach them how to be independent, how to be creative.
All right, and to break that down into its purest form, we teach them how to own businesses. We teach them how to run businesses. We teach them business and commerce and economics.
They're thinking how to be creative in their behavior. Now,
we teach them how, when your daddy has a business and then you take over that business, how you make that business thrive more than your daddy, and then your son's supposed to make it thrive more than you did. All right? That's what they teach them.
I teach you in my lectures and workshops all the secrets of Jewish parenting, how to raise your kids for success, how to raise kids from age 0 when they are born to be successful when they grow up.
All right. And so the way you teach, hold on, let me get this precept. This is what you do. All right? This is the book of Joshua, 1 around verse 8. Let's see. Yeah, Joshua 1 and 8. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. These Jews do that. They dabble with our laws, then they go off with their fucking Jewish mysticism, the Kabbalah. But this is they use this principle. Then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, then thou shalt have good success. Amongst themselves, this is what they do. They take our principles and use it to flourish, because these things that Yahweh Shai taught us to do, they are universal laws. The other nations can adopt them. All right, these laws teach you how to have integrity. The other nations can adopt that because they're universal laws. You give the energy that you give, man. All right, you reap what you sow. Those are universal laws.
To give you now just one tool that Jewish parents use all the time. If you would like to persuade your kid, you don't need to talk about your interest as a parent, you need to talk about their interest. For example, let's say I have a 10 years old kid and he doesn't want to do his homework for school. He doesn't want to do his homework, and we have a fight every day about him, that he needs to do his homework and to learn. If I would tell him my interest as a parent, that I would like him to succeed in life, or that I would like him to graduate with honors, or I would like him to find a good job, or that his interest is to find a good job or to get to the school that the university wants, etc. It's not relevant for the child. The child is just...
All right, now look, that's a bone. That's him giving that wicked wine. All right, that's him giving that wicked wine. They don't teach that for the most part. The Orthodox Jews don't send their children to universities, and they don't send them to get jobs from non-Amalekites. All right, even though they're Edomites, Amalekite only deals with Amalekite for the most part. All right, now that's a bone right there. But I'm about to get to this other excerpt. All right, what he just said, they don't teach their children to go in this society and integrate with this society and do business and commerce how this society teaches you. They don't teach their child to go work for what they call a goyim, a Gentile, okay? Now, he's an unorthodox Jew, all right? So you'll find a lot of Jews like him that are lawyers and judges, all right? But that be basically a business owners. Even the unorthodox Jews, when you see them, you will see them in the few and far in between, but they be there. They'll go to universities, but when they go to universities, it's mostly to be lawyers and judges, all right? That's basically what they go there for. You don't really see Jews doing other shit other than that. And the rest of them be basically business owners, okay? Now, I'm going to bring out this excerpt, all right, and show you how these Jews get down. Then I'm going to get into the scriptures. All right, where was I? All right, now look, this is how they community rocks. There is also community, perhaps the greatest builder of wealth in the Hasidic community. Trust is exceptionally important in business. Without little can get done. And that's what our laws teach us, man. I'm gonna go get those laws. When every transaction is done through lawyers and the network is too large to penetrate, business moves at much a slower pace. In the Hasidic community, where there are huge advantages of trust and networking. You see, he's showing you they don't deal with business and commerce in this society the way your average simpleton does. All right, a kingdom divided can't stand. Their kingdom is flourishing. All right, they only deal with each other, and they only when you look at them, man, those Orthodox Jews, man, they have 10 and 8 children, man. All right, 10 to 8 children, 6 children. The average household got 6 children. All right, I'm going to tell you another lie. And when you read upon them, they say that they are poor and they get government assistance. That's a bone. Those people are well-to-do. But that's what that's you. If you look it up, you're gonna find that they say a lot of them are poor. That's a lie. That's the game, man. That's misdirection. All right. All right. A lot of them be content with living meagerly. All right. But they be having funds. They be having surplus. All right. All right. Where was I? In the Hasidic community, there are huge advantages of trusting and networking. Helping some in business is, according to the Jewish law. That's what our laws tell us to do. All right? And we're going to get that law. Remember this. All right? The greatest form of charity, and there are so many people willing to help with everything from loans. All right? A nigga can't get a loan. These Jews give each other loans to start up businesses, man. This is what they're doing. They're living our lives. That's what we did. That's in our blessed laws, and I'm gonna get it. All right. Advice or other forms of help to those first starting out. They finances those first starting off and give them the knowledge base what to do. A nigga get a lick, find a little perk. He keep it to himself. He like one of the rappers down here said about another rapper. You get in the door and shut it behind you instead of helping your people, man. That's what they do. That's a nigga. They don't do that. They spread the knowledge amongst each other. All right? They keep it amongst each other. They spread their wealth amongst each other. Ishmael do that too. Matter of fact, a lot of the nations do that. Our people fucked up. We curse. All right? All right. A Hasidic Jew can also do background checks on any potential business partner with only 1, max 2 degrees of separations. Even when these people span from different cities or countries. And the way they do that is not through computers, it's through word. Man, does this guy come to the synagogue often? He'll find out what area the guy, what city the guy's synagogue in, and by word of mouth. They doing what we doing. A good name is far above rubies. All right? Like if I wanted to marry my son off to a guy I met in ancient Israel, this is how I would go. I would go to wherever, let's say he in Bethlehem, Judah. I would go to Bethlehem, Judah, to the ancients of the city, to the elders and people in the cities and be like, yeah, what's this guy? I'll be like, let's say the guy's name is Yakazala, all right? And I'll be like, do y'all know Yakazala Bun? And let's say his dad name is Arya. Do y'all know Yakazala Bun Arya? Yeah. And that's saying Yakazala son of Arya. That's how we knew each other. That's how you knew who you was. And that's how we communicated in the ancient times. All right, like you would say, does anybody know Solomon, son of David? That's how we did things. All right, and in that cosmos where he at, you're gonna find out if he have a good name or bad name, because a name was above everything. Your name, your reputation was everything. All right, so when he's saying he could find out, he'll go to whatever synagogue the guy he want to go in business with and see if he have a good name amongst the elders, a good name amongst the men. That's what it's talking about right there. Okay? That's how he would do a background check on them. All right? Men meet each other in the synagogue. See what I'm saying? 3 times daily. Often praying while traveling in synagogues where they know on one. I know so many deals that happen to Jews traveling, meeting other Jews in synagogues and finding mutual areas of business interests. Couple that with an instant level of trust, and you got a whole lot of success. See, our people don't network like that. They don't work like that. All right? All these factors aside, if you ask the people of my grandparents' generations, those broken Jews who survived and didn't thrive in their own environments, how they did it, they would point out the only one answer, God. And they didn't trust in God. Those were devils. The Holocaust was a hoax. All right. Now they followed biblical principles that I'm about to get into in the scriptures. That's what happened with them. Carnally, they followed biblical principles. All right. There have been many other immigrant communities who had similar stories of ours, but few had success so quickly. And a lot of those Jews, man, they was getting kicked out of these other European nations because they had taken hold of the banking system. They was putting usury on the people, and they already had fucking money. Then they came here in America and did the same shit. All right? They knew how to do business and commerce through the scriptures. Now I'm gonna show you how they do it wickedly though. So let me go to our law. This is Leviticus 25. All right, I'm gonna start at verse 25. Now let's get this. Let's see what they adopted from us. All right. If thy brother waxing poor and have sold away some of his possessions, and if any of his kin come to redeem it, then shall he redeem that which is his brother's soul. Okay? Listen to this. And if a man have not none to redeem it, and himself be able to redeem it, then let him count the years of the sale thereof, and restore the overplus unto that man whom he sold it, that he may return into his possession. Now look, let me tell you what's going on here. Let's say a brother is in a bind. All right, he done sold some stuff, a lot of his stuff. He'll come work for you for a certain amount of years. And when he worked for you a certain amount of years, he cancels out whatever he owes you. Then you have to send him away with overplus. He just don't work there all them years and cancel out. Then you send him off with some overplus. And overplus, you send him out with some equity where he could go start him a business, man. All right? If he able not to restore it to him, then which his soul shall remain in the hand of him that he bought it until the year of Jubilee. All right? So even if he working for you all those years and he wasn't able to pay you off. Let's say if a guy owed me $8 million in our culture. All right. And if he owed me $8 million, he's with me 6 years. And he was only able to pay me back $5 million. All right. On the year of Jubilee, I cancel whatever he owed me. That's how the banking system roll. Okay? But during those years he was with me, even though he didn't pay me back what he owed me, he was making me money. Okay? He was making me money. He was working off his debt, plus I was still making money, man. All right? And when I send him off, I don't send him, according to our laws, I don't send him off empty. I send him off where he could start up his business. He don't just go empty. That's what those Jews do. And I'm just using the example of a brother that's in despair and is in debt. But we did that, like when you look at what happened with Jacob, when he worked for Leah and Rebecca. He worked 7 years for Laban. And 7 years for Rebecca. Those 14 years he worked for Laban. Laban prospered. He made money. They say that Laban came rich because of Jacob. All right. And then when he let Jacob off, Jacob left with substance. He left with goats. He left with sheep. He left with cow for his family. And that's what those Jews do. That's how they keep money amongst themselves, man. They follow our laws, man. All right? And they give out loans. Let me show you that. What scripture that is? They give out loans. Like, if a brother, you'll just give a brother a loan for him to go start a business, man. All right, here we go. Unto a stranger. Wait, hold up. Here we go. This Deuteronomy 23 and 19. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother. All right. So when we lend our brother, we'll lend our brother money to start him a business so he could get a family, so he could go pay for a dowry for a wife. All right. That's what those Jews do. Those Jews don't work. Those Orthodox Jews, they don't work. They just go and study in school all day. All right. They study so-called Torah all day. All right. And while they're studying in Torah, they all own businesses, various businesses, man. And how do they own those businesses? All right, they own the banking systems. They own everything. All right, those are the higher up Jews. But when it trickles down to those Orthodox Jews, they help each other own businesses. And they let those businesses run themselves, man. All right, that's what they do. They own stores. All right. They trade with other nations. They do all type of business and commerce, man, and they keep it amongst themselves. All right? And they don't use usury with each other. They keep these laws. If they loan a guy money so he could start him a business, and then they'll show him how to start the business, all right, because these Jews are all about money and economics, all right? Then that guy just pay him back what he owed. But unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury, what you know as, what's the word, interest, that Yahweh shall bless thee in all thou settest thy hand up into the land whither thou goest. All right? And when thou shalt vow a vow unto the Lord, thou shalt not slack to pay it. All right? Put Yahweh, thy power was surely required of thee, and it will be sin in thee. All right? Man, it got another scripture. All right, here we go. Verse 20. Unto a stranger thou may lend upon usury. And that's what those Jews do. They really keep it our fucking laws, man. Our blessed laws, Salakia. See, these Jews, when they give you a banking loan, man, they charge you 13, 14, 20% interest rates, man. You see what I'm saying? And they looking at you as goyim, as heathens. They feel they keeping the commandments, man. And they get filthy rich off of it, man. Filthy fucking rich. But when they deal with each other, they don't charge each other usury. They take care of one another. All right, a kingdom divided can't stand, man. But they use biblical fucking principles, man. All right? Unto a stranger thou may lend upon interest. But unto thy brother thou shalt not lend upon usury. All right? And that's what these demons do, man. That's why they are prospering, man. They get along with one another. They don't have this crab in the bucket syndrome, and they take care of one another. Man, Google and read how these Orthodox Jewish communities roam. All right, all of them have a lot of children. All right, the children don't integrate with this society. All right. And their communities are thriving, man. All right, according to this society, of course. And then you're gonna find a bone in there where it say that they poor and they don't have shit, man. That's Esau with their shit, man. They want you to think that. They the devil the Bible speak of. All right. So with that, Lord willing, to sit down was edifying to the hearers. All right. I want to give infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakar Kodash. I'm going to give double honors to our teachers, the apostles of Great Millstone, Kwam Yasharala.